Hey everyone, today we visited a local card show. So this is actually a 3-day card show in Vancouver, Canada. And there's a bunch of different vendors here. You can see already that there's a bunch of old vintage cards, a lot of sealed product here as well at actually pretty good prices. So do keep in mind all these prices will be in Canadian dollars. There's even a lot of people that came out of province just for this show. So yeah, there's a lot of content here. It was very hard to try to fit this in one video. So I'll do my best to kind of show you guys what was here, what were the prices, and what the vibes were like. So I would say there's a very good mix of both modern and vintage Pokemon cards, some Japanese cards as well. So here's actually a booth by Rainy Bear Games. They're a collectible store located in Abbotsford. So if you guys are local, do check them out. They actually have very good assortment of stuff. I really liked their cards, what they had. I actually picked quite a lot up, and they're super easy to work with, really genuine people. 100% could not recommend them more. So these guys did have a lot of slabs up for sale, but I was kind of more interested in their singles, their raw cards. More specifically, I was kind of looking for the middle era stuff. So they had a lot of modern cards, which is great. They're super affordable too, $1 or $2. A lot of amazing rares, a lot of the baby shinies and full arts, and a lot of the sword and shield stuff, which you kind of expect. But then what I sort of didn't expect is that they had such a wide range of the black and white, and here's the diamond and pearl stuff. Personally, my favorite era. A lot of nice vintage holos. But I think the best part is a lot of these are super minty. So I had to check the condition of these. I was super impressed. I feel like I haven't seen cards this clean. It seems like they are kind of pack fresh cards, which was awesome. I love picking these up. So I believe I did pick up this card as well. Super nostalgic. I must have had it as a kid. There's a lot of fond memories attached with that generation. But here, they had a lot more cool singles in these top loaders, and the condition wasn't too bad as well. A lot of multi-generation stuff, Hidden Fates, awesome to see. But I think, this pile was ultimately one of my favorites. So many of those reverse EX series cards, which I feel like is sort of not talked about too much, but honestly, it looks so cool. I love the stamps back in the day, where you have that set symbol there. And yeah, these vintage holos, they're pretty cheap too. A lot of them were just $5 to $10. So very reasonable prices, for sure. If I saw the right kind of card, I was going to pick them up. Love seeing those Delta species cards. They don't really make cards like that anymore. Here we still got some more cards from different generations. Still absolutely love those reverse stamped cards. And this is what I picked up. So a bunch of holos or reverses from the Diamond and Pearl or EX era. I thought I had a pretty good deal there. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Would you guys pick up any of these cards that I'm looking at? Let me know. And then so here is another booth. There's a bunch of celebration cards that they were selling. Some sort of low to mid tier cards at this vendor. Very cool EX series. So this is the more modern EX from XY. But still a lot of full arts. I am trying to complete my Hidden Fates cards. Trying to buy up some singles, so always on the lookout for those. And then black and white and the diamond and pearl stuff, I'm going to be looking at the condition a bit more carefully, just because not only was the set kind of short printed, but also the print quality may not be the best in a lot of them. So if I do see a really minty card, I am kind of willing to pay a bit more. And I think card shows are a really good place to kind of do that, just because you can see the condition in person. And then you can really assess the card live, whether you want to buy it or not. So here I bought another Arceus card from Platinum Arceus, so that was cool. This vendor had quite a lot of slabs. And here I actually played for $3, I believe. Yeah, this claw machine game. So I believe the purpose is if you get one of these eggs out, you play until you win, and depending on the color you find inside, you can pick out a card of different rarity. So I did end up picking a Surfing Pikachu V card. So not quite the value, but it was fun, and the vendor was super nice, so no regrets there. So this vendor still had some pretty cool singles, a lot of mixed generation, I would say. So definitely, you know, if you come to these card shows, you can probably find something that you are collecting, whether that's sort of celebrations, like the latest cards. But he also has a lot of like very niche stuff like black and white, which I feel like very few vendors actually carry just because it was such an unpopular set. But they also had like, yeah, we saw some diamond and pearl there and some maybe some platinum cards. But honestly, it was just cool to see a lot of the cards that you don't normally get to see and actually hold it in your hand and see it in person. It's totally a different feeling than you know, going online or on eBay to see the listings. It's just a cool experience to actually see it in person. And I feel like a lot of times after you see it in person, you realize you may actually really like the artwork. And so here, you know, despite these Pokemon being really unpopular, they were the chase cards in black and white. And I bought them for $10 a piece. So I think it was pretty good value. You know, they were really minty as well. And the packs are going for, I believe, like at least $100 now. So I think picking it up for $10, like the chase cards, is a good deal in my books. And so yeah, this other vendor had a bunch of different evolutions, some Sun and Moon full arts, some tag team cards. But yeah, honestly, I would probably picked up some of these cards if I had more time with them. But you know, it was so overwhelming with so many different vendors to check out and just being on a tight time crunch. So I think this vendor had a lot of higher end stuff. So here we can see a lot of WotC promos, Japanese holos, some EX Sandstorm stuff. Oh, more of those Arceus cards that I've been picking up. So I was tempted, but yeah, I found a really cool Delta species. It's such a cool set, honestly, seeing these Pokemon in different types. Here we got some more cheap holos from the Diamond and Pearl era. We got some full arts, some rainbow trainers, as well as some rainbow character cards. Here, I believe this was a vendor that I actually visited pretty frequently across all the card shows I've been to. They usually always come with really good stuff. A lot of stuff is packed fresh. So I always need to check them out. They're like a couple that run the shop together. And I did talk to them last show. They say they just kind of do this on the side, which is honestly a really awesome hobby to have. So I did want to drop by and say hi and see if I was looking for anything they were selling today. Always cool to see people and get to know people in the hobby. You know, I'm just trying to make some more friends here. So yeah, if you guys are local, you know, feel free to drop me a message. Always down to talk Pokemon or talk about Pokemon cards. You know, this is sort of one of the reasons why I have a YouTube channel, is to just kind of, you know, see if I can get to know the community a little bit more. And just to see, you know, if there's sort of other collectors like myself. You know, if you guys also want to do a YouTube channel, I think it's really fun. I've been enjoying it a lot, and I have a lot of support from you guys that are watching, which, you know, I'm super grateful for. So thank you guys for watching my channel and commenting. It really does help me out. I do sort of feel motivated to make more of these videos, and it is quite time consuming sometimes. So you know, it is nice to see that people do appreciate this and are actually interested in this kind of content. So yeah, huge thank you to you guys. And yeah, so, you know, here I'm just flipping through some more binders just to see if there's anything I might be interested in. But, you know, it's kind of, I think, kind of scattered. There was some nice reverses from the Diamond and Pearl that I may be interested in, but nothing exactly what I was looking for. So in this next booth, we did see some sealed product, actually, some blister packs, which is cool, some flash fire. Did pick up the Zygarde GX from Hidden Fates as part of my shiny vault set for Hidden Fates, and then quite a lot of slabs here, some sealed product. But definitely, I think this show, compared to the other shows that I've been to, does have a lot more slabs, a lot more higher end stuff, which is cool to see. You know, if I stayed there for longer, I would have spent a few $100 more, which may or may not be a good thing. So I guess it's good that I did get some good deals for the raw stuff. I didn't spend too much money at this show just because I was on a bit of a time crunch. But nonetheless, you know, still a lot of really cool cards here. I was kind of looking for some of these X and Y chase cards. I do think they're kind of undervalued at this time, just because so much of the hobby is shifting their attention to Sword and Shield alternate arts right now. So I think a lot of the X and Y chase cards are pretty cheap. So, you know, if I can get them for like $10 to $15, I don't see the harm in that. You know, a lot of them have really cool art, and I think the texture just really slaps. I do recommend checking those out if you guys are interested. It might be a pretty good time to buy, just because I feel like there's not that much of a market for it, at least right now. But you know, my bread and butter would still be with the diamond and pearl stuff, so that's why every time you see me see something mid-era, I would slow down and take a look at it. Just because it always, you know, even if I'm not gonna buy the card, it kind of just makes me you know, stop and take a closer look. Definitely, I guess this is why a lot of us are here, is just for the nostalgia. Sorry guys that there's so much glare here, but it's mainly a lot of just more modern cards, some Sun and Moon era stuff. Here we got a lot of Vivid Voltage, some X and Y stuff, some Japanese celebrations. We got some Yu-Gi-Oh even, and some more modern alt arts. Nothing too interesting, but honestly, I think the binders are very fun to flip through, just because there's so many cards that you're seeing all at once. You're kind of trying to just absorb all of it in, but then try to, you know, stay focused, right? Because we all kind of want to collect something specific and have a collection goal in mind. But funny enough, it seems like the binders always try to detract me from my collecting goals, just because it's so interesting, and some of the artworks really kind of captivate me. And it kind of makes me want to start collecting other stuff, which I know I shouldn't do, but you know, I feel like we can't help it sometimes. So I do try to keep it in mind. You know, I do try to focus my collecting goals on a specific niche in the hobby. And this was a really cool booth. They had some very high-end cards, very nice to look at, very pleasing. A lot of graded cards. I was debating about picking up some of those promos and some of the more vintage cards at this booth. But yeah, look at these Japanese Pikachu promos. They're pretty hard to find now, since a lot of those boxes were pretty limited in their printing. This booth had a lot of sort of Japanese cards, but they were super organized. Notice how every card actually has its own digital tag. So I think each card was actually inventoried and has a price set on it. So yeah, I thought that was kind of neat, but you know, very cool to see some of those EV promos. A lot of the Japanese Pokemon sets, and a lot of these sealed promos, which I haven't seen before, honestly. I think it's cool that they actually sell promos in a specific binder that's all sealed. So yeah, definitely interesting vendor, but super organized, and yeah, definitely have my respect there. So this is primarily a sports card show, so that's why there's actually quite a lot more sports vendors than Pokemon. But from what I heard over recent years, there's quite a lot more Pokemon cards now compared to before. And you know, I love sifting through these sort of piles of cards here. So a lot of these cards I actually had as a kid. So even though I can't probably afford to buy back every single card I had as a kid, it was really nice to just sort of have these in my hands and actually see this in person after like over 10 years. Just super nostalgic, I think. Every time I go to one of these card shows, I just can't help but feel like a kid again, right? I think that's the beauty of this hobby. So definitely love getting that dopamine hit. Here there's a bunch more promos and more modern cards, Shining Fates, some I think there's some Scarlet and Violet here, but definitely majority of the cards I think at this show, it was from the Sword and Shield era. Well, I'm pretty glad that I was able to hit up most of the vendors that I did want to check out. So that was really nice, and honestly super overwhelming though. I would have loved to spend more time looking at a lot of the individual raw cards and, you know, picking up some ones that are very minty to possibly grade in the future for my own personal collection. But, you know, still at the end of the day, it was a super fun show. Met a lot of new people. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope to see you guys again. Please leave a like if you guys did enjoy it. It does help out the channel, and peace out.